Hi, and welcome to Wrong Way. And I've ranted about this helmet, the RUROC Berserker, already twice. Why do I still keep on using it? And I've also got a new jacket, the Modeka Viper LT. So, let me tell you more about it. Wrong Way. Alright guys, so I've been having this RUROC helmet already for a while, and as you remember the first two reviews, I had some issues with quality and a bit of issues with the inner liner. But through this time I still kept on using it, and I think this tree is closed. Oh, S18 power. It's easy to get through the grass. But anyways, I still didn't sell this helmet, and as you can see, it's also my most used helmet. And even though I had a couple others which I can use in day-to-day use, namely also the Shoei Hornet ADV that I got for testing, whoops, I still didn't use it as my main helmet, sort of. So in order to explain that maybe a bit better, I'm going to show you a different helmet, the Shoei Hornet ADV. And in order to talk about that, we need to talk all in all about motorcycle helmets, and in particular ones that I had a bit more experience with, the Shoei motorcycle helmets. So now I'm going back to Shoei to give back the Hornet ADV. I have used it a couple of times whilst I have it for testing, but I've noticed that I haven't been using it that much. I've been mostly riding with the RUROC Berserker. And there's a lot of things that I like about the Hornet ADV. It has an amazing field of view. I think it's also good for people with a bigger head, as it like goes down quite a bit. It looks amazing, especially with this photochromatic, front visor. It just gets darker when it's bright. It gets bright when there is no sun around. So it almost feels like a peak here on the top. Now, it is also very comfortable, it fits very well on my head, and I think that the liner design is also really just well made, and the balance also feels right on the head. It's not like front heavy, top heavy, and even though it is quite a heavy helmet, I think it weighs around 1600 grams, something like that, it doesn't feel that heavy on your head once you wear it. So with all these positives, why didn't I get a Shoei Hornet ADV or a Shoei Glamster or whatever Shoei instead of the RUROC that I bought? So let me explain really quickly what it's all about with this RUROC Berserker. Well, first of all, I was riding in this helmet, and this helmet is more comfortable than the RUROC. It has a better inner liner, it is more comfortable to put on, and after using it extensively for such a long time, it doesn't hurt to put it on. It's lighter, but the negative part about it is it's really designed for mountain biking. So I suppose at a high-speed crash, it could be not enough safety for me. The next thing is, when buying a full-face downhill helmet or when buying a TSG Pass, and by the way, I also tried the TSG Pass, I get a lot of wind noise, and I don't like wind noise because then I can't hear anything that's happening around me, or it's somehow distorted. And if you are going fast, you want to hear the beeps on the wheel, and you also want to hear your friends chat next to you. And whilst this helmet is pretty awesome and I really like wearing it, it is just, in my eyes, not safe enough for high-speed use, and I get too much wind noise and turbulences when riding in this helmet. Field of view, better. Quality in my eyes is also better. Lightness is better, but I still won't use this helmet if I want to go above 40 kilometers an hour on an electric device. And then there's the Shoei Hornet ADV and other Shoei helmets that I've tried, and personally my favorite is the Shoei Glamster. But the problem is I look a bit like a Lego man in it, and I feel like I want to have a more aggressive design, so to speak. The Glamster is, in my eyes, the most comfortable, the lightest, and has not that many turbulences. You can hear everything pretty well in it. And if you want a more comfortable helmet, Shoei Glamster will be the better choice. The visor has a bigger field of view, obviously, than the goggles here, but you need to change the pin lock from time to time. And if you want to get a different, brighter or darker tinted visor, you need to work a bit more than with the goggles here, and it also takes up more space in your backpack. I'd say that the ventilation in the Glamster is also pretty similar to the RUROC, but in the Shoei you can also open and close it up. The Shoei Hornet ADV is also pretty awesome. I love the field of view, but the problem with most motorcycle helmets I've tried is that you can hear very little in them. And especially for me, the Shoei guys have removed all the padding from the inside next to the ear cups, and I've also removed the lower chin piece that was there to not let any air come through this part, and I still can't hear that well as in my RUROC. This helmet is also heavier than the RUROC, but it's also very comfortable, I would say. Another thing I always notice in these helmets with visors is that there's just a little bit more wind noise when putting the visor down. Either if you are in a bit slightly angled position or if you turn your head, there's always a bit of airflow around these gaps, which is not happening on the RUROC. So I do love the design of this one. I like the aerodynamics, I love the fit, and the inside is much better designed than the RUROC Berserker. If I put it on, it's just like a sofa. But once it is on, I can't hear my voice that well as in the RUROC, sadly. Field of view, better. It's definitely a safer helmet because it also has the Snell test, as far as I know. Maybe for a scooter I would consider this because I don't need to hear the beeps that much, but to be like more in the world, to hear everything and to hear your friends, to hear the beeps, this is sadly better. So with all the helmets I've tried, even though you can look at the inner liner and it's just falling apart basically, I've tried to put another liner inside, so I have two liners, and I don't know really what's the better option. I think the fit is okay. Ears still hurt a bit when I put it on. I have very much moisture buildup here when I ride, especially in cold weather. And I feel like when I'm going especially slow, I need to always put up the goggles to get some air in, because I just don't get that much air inside of this helmet, even though I have an air vent right in front of me. The goggles also, the rubber is falling apart. You can see it here. It's just like that. And you know, it's definitely not the best quality helmet, but I hear everything in it, which I love. I feel still quite comfortable with the weight, even with my Olight RN800 on top of it. I got pretty much used to it. I love the design, and I love, once again, that I hear everything in this helmet, and it's also very easy to exchange the front visor elements. I have two additional visors, and it was really easy to just pack a small visor into my backpack when I was going to Bulgaria, instead of getting like a huge one for the Shoei, or just having an expensive photochromatic. I'm not such a huge fan of photochromatic visors too, because once you go into the woods, it's still dark. You would want to have it bright then. So I like just one stable sort of dark or bright setting. And then again, super easy to, oops, dang it, to take it off and put it on. Wouldn't say it's the sturdiest of mechanisms, but it works. And once again, it's easier to have a small visor and pack it into your backpack rather than a big one. Ah, so nice. So anyways, the RUROC Berserker is a helmet that is pretty different from most of what you see on the helmet market. I've tried, as said, most of the Shoei models. I've also tried my friends, but no helmet until now had so splendid acoustic properties as the RUROC Berserker. I obviously don't like the build quality. Probably that's the biggest bummer about this helmet. I don't like how the liner is quite harsh and it still hurts my ears. I need to really like move it apart to not hurt my ears while putting it on and off. I'm not the biggest fan of the double D mechanism. Probably I would like a magnetic type of lock like on the RUROC Atlas 2.0. It's moderately heavy, definitely heavier than most of the bicycle helmets, but I also do feel more secure in it at higher speeds. I wish it had an additional rating than the DOT rating. The DOT rating is like not the most like innovative or modern rating of helmets. It's pretty antiquated already, but you do need that to have a helmet motorcycle certified in the US. So I don't like how little air I'm getting with the visor down. I have to be really quick when I want to get a bit more air here. Otherwise I have to keep the goggles up. I like how the goggles fit up and down to the helmet, but they could the rubber or the foam could definitely have some better quality. And I also hate the pain of searching for a new helmet because there's so many options, and most of the time it's best to try them on personally to see how they work, and also try how they perform when you're riding, because some of the things just pop up when you're riding. And I'm still quite happy that I got the Berserker instead of other helmets, even with the bad build quality, because as said, I love the acoustic properties. The comfort is okay, I would say. I love the design, and yeah, I guess I got used to it. Oh, and I also love how it works in cold weather, because your eyes are separated. There's never any fog building up in the goggles, and you can also fit glasses so easily over goggles, because these goggles are huge, man. And that's what she said. So with that out of the way, I have to also tell you about my new jacket. And I've been using my Shima jacket for already 1.5 years, pretty much day by day. I've been pretty happy with it, but after this amount of time, it started to break in a lot of spots. Mostly the zippers came loose or got lost when I was zipping up the jacket, and also like the zipper mechanism sort of detached itself from the material. The thing that I noticed is that most motorcycle jackets are pretty short, and because of that, especially in the winter, it's quite difficult to have no air coming from down here up to you, because on a motorcycle you're hunched over, essentially there's no air getting in here, but on a unicycle or a scooter most of the time you're straight, so then the air is just coming through here. To hinder this and to get also a motorcycle jacket with a bit more durable materials, like here, like polyamide, very similar material to what the Villanova foot plates are made out of, I got this Modeka Viper LT, and I've tried on quite a bit of jackets, also new ones from Shima, some other brands also. You could follow that on my Instagram. I was posting pictures of the jackets there, but the one that I liked the most was this Modeka jacket, and they have a couple of options, but this Viper LT, I thought it suits me the best. I also, obviously like the design of it, but the material choices are nice. It feels way more premium than the Shima I had. It's also extremely, like, the difference in how warm you are in it is huge. Like in the Shima, I would usually get quite cold, but now I have just a shirt on, a warmth layer in form of a pullover, and basically that's it. And I'm super warm at around 0 degrees C. And in Warsaw, the climate is also very moist, so the temperature you're feeling is actually colder than what it is. So I like that about the jacket. Obviously it has pockets, it's pretty comfortable, and it has all the protection. I think also bigger protection than on the shoulders and on the elbow. It also has a big pad on your back, which I probably will not use in the summer since I have my Bumblebee backpack, which is a back protector. But in terms of protection, in terms of all the materials, I think it's a big step up from the Shima. It was also more expensive, around 300-400 euro, whereas the Shima is like 200.
Oh my god, cars just can't move. Come on. So slow. It also has layers, but in comparison to the Shima, it doesn't need a extra waterproof layer. It's already built in. So I like that about this jacket, because I don't need to put another layer in it to be waterproof. And I usually was riding without the waterproof layer, as it was not breathable at all and I was sweating in it. I'm not sweating in the Modeka one, and I'm definitely really warm. So it's a pretty cool, breathable material. And when it gets warm, I will remove the inner warmth layer, and then it would be like a colder, more breathable jacket for the summer. But I'm actually now riding with lazy rolling, and they will also send me some cool stuff to check out. So I've seen your comments already before about lazy rolling stuff, and yes, I'll be getting my hands on a couple of items to check out and tell you guys about it. So I hope that this new jacket will work for more than 1.5 years, maybe like 3, 4, 5. That would be awesome. Of course, depending on the crash situation. But I think that's all that I wanted to say about this new Modeka jacket. And it's German. So, if you're still here, leave a like on the video, subscribe to see more content like this. I'll see you in the next video. See you soon.